Mysterious worlds, different biomes, stunning visuals with charming effects, progression, creativity and freedom, challenging bosses, progressive crafting. No, everything I mentioned isn't Terraria or Minecraft. It is Core Keeper. This is a sandbox adventure game developed by Storm, which has finally reached the release. I've been playing this game for a few years, starting from early beta access on Steam, and here I'd like to share my personal experience and review this incredible project, which of course won't overshadow the competition, but it will certainly make a warming place in your heart. If you like games like Minecraft, Terraria or Stardew Valley, then you should definitely try Core Keeper. This fantasy game has some charm for sure. My amount of played hours definitely means something. The game throws players into a procedurally generated underground world. You are an unnamed explorer who was teleported next to a mysterious core which you need to power back on with the 3 different crystals. The game doesn't explain much of what is going on or how to play it, so if you are new to this sandbox genre, it will take some time to adjust. In this world, your main goal is exploration. Just as in Minecraft or Terraria, you can destroy walls, dig holes, gather wood, mine different resources, automate your farm, and make your own base out of it. Along the way, you'll encounter varied wildlife depending on the biome you are in. Every single item you find has its use, either for crafting or decorations. First few hours you'll mostly spend mining walls with copper or iron pickaxes, dealing with hunger, and killing enemies with a rusty sword. Sounds quite generic, just as any other sandbox game, but trust me, it is going to be different. Core Keeper carves its own unique path, offering a mix of exploration, combat, crafting and base building. Most ideas were certainly picked from other similar games, but we have improvements here and there. Interestingly enough, this game has a skill system similar to Skyrim. If you attack foes in melee, you'll gain experience for melee combat. If you go fishing, mine walls or let's say harvest plants, you'll get XP for that corresponding attribute. Each tab has its own passive tree that can make your life easier, but maxing out a single attribute can take plenty of your playtime. And if you want to unlock everything, then I would recommend you to start fishing as early as possible, as it is the only attribute that takes most of your time and dedication. It is also worth noting that fishing is not useless and you can find really valuable stuff from the same pool of water or lava. For example, high quality fish for crafting meals, pieces of equipment and even a permanent health boost. Once you get used to Core Keeper core gameplay, pun intended, craft your first workbench and build your first base, it becomes clear that you need to expand. Roaming around your first biome, you will eventually fight the first slimy boss. Killing it and bringing its fragment will enable one of 3 generators for the core and unlock new special items. Finally, all the bosses can be tricky, but you can craft scanners to detect them on the map. Once you kill all 3 bosses in the specific biomes, you can basically progress to a much higher difficulty. And this is where the actual game begins. After you defeat all 3 bosses, it is time to dive deeper into the new, much larger and more challenging biomes. They introduce new tools, weapons, gear of higher tier and mining veins. All that is essential for your progression. There are 3 new large areas to explore: Wilderness, Sunken Sea and Desert of Beginnings. You can explore them in any order, but I'd recommend you to start with the first one, as the last 2 are much more challenging and require high equipment, like mining power to break walls. However, the game doesn't penalize you much for using lower tier pickaxe. Theoretically, you can stack enough mining power and still destroy blocks with your copper pickaxe. Slower, but it is possible. This trick can save you some time if you want to go straight for the best available tools. Could you imagine doing this in Minecraft, for example, trying to get diamonds with a stone pickaxe? I guess not. Each of these biomes I mentioned before has 1 primary and 1 to 2 optional bosses. In these areas you might also find some points of interest like Titan Temple, Labyrinth or Ancient Forge. These unique places can lead to the most powerful gear existing in Core Keeper, and I won't spoil it for you. At first, finding and killing these bosses can be tough and require some preparations, but remember that crafting, passive skills and co-op are your best friends. Killing the primary bosses will unlock new passive powers for your character that you can activate or deactivate at any time in the powers tab next to skills. Moving to a new biome will always give you something new. Workbenches, pickaxes, unique armor, and so on. So there is always some progression and your character gets only stronger. Even if you revisit older areas, you might find something that you probably missed. Maybe some rare materials, recipes, plants, dungeons, or optional bosses. Since the world is huge and your backpack is limited, you'll need to travel a lot. The game offers multiple ways of traveling, using recall idols to return home, building railroads with carts, or placing expensive but highly reliable portals. These portals will allow you to travel back and forth between two zones, but they require plenty of resources to craft and it takes 20 minutes to charge. Improving your base camp is also essential not only from a visual perspective but also for organizing and crafting. Arranging workbenches and anvils, gardening, crafting and sorting items to chests, creating traps, farms to spawn certain entities for extra resources and more. All that is purely optional, but with automation and good management skills you can save plenty of your time. We are talking about drills, machines, conveyor belts and sprinklers. If you're a big fan of machines from Minecraft or Factorio, then Core Keeper is definitely worth a try. Throughout your adventure you'll also find special spawners that you can place back at your camp to summon merchants. This is technically the same as in Terraria. To make them settle in you'll need to create a small room with a door, bed and some light. Once they spawn you can trade coins to them for valuables like ores, schematics, decorations, potions or fishing bait. Another addition to the game is pets. You can hatch eggs to receive a random companion which will assist you in battles. All pets will gain experience just like you, and with each level you can assign skill points in their personal skill tree that suit your build the most. What makes this game engaging are combat and visuals. Core Keeper has several combat mechanics. Here we have axes, swords, staves, crossbows, bows, rifles and magic spells. Whether you prefer ranged combat or melee, everything can become useful and help you stick to your personal playstyle. Swords and axes, for example, can do basic and powerful attacks if you hold the right button, and bows or staves on the other hand shoot additional projectiles if you hold your attack for long. This leads to various outcomes, and even if you are outnumbered, there is always something that would help you, like your pet or maybe an offhand. Offhand items and your armor pieces offer significant boosts to your character, and you shouldn't skip that part. Pretty much any set has its use depending at what stage you are in. Some gives you armor, some attack speed, crit chance, crit damage, thorns or mining power. Basically any stats that you can find in any other RPGs. Iron armor, for example, grants you raw damage stats and additional defense if you're at low health, or assassin armor, which basically makes you an assassin, increasing your movement speed, attack speed and dodge chance. There's always something for everyone. My favorite by far is miner's set, which significantly makes mining easier while also increasing my melee damage based on my mining power. Basically you can mix all that and create your own build. And if you have some spare resources and wish to squeeze more stats out of your favorite set or weapon, you can upgrade them at a special workbench. Other aspect that complements the game is the visuals. The game looks gorgeous even on low-end GPUs like GeForce 1050 Ti. You can easily play this game on 60 FPS on lower medium settings and still enjoy these pixelated graphics with beautiful shadows, lighting and reflections. The biomes aren't bland and each of them is vibrant and charming. From typical dirt caves to lush forests, vast desert, crystal clean ocean or lava caverns, everything looks unique and music makes exploration even better. Despite the fact that this game runs on Unity engine, Core Keeper is well optimized from hardware and netcode sides. I have never encountered any network issues with synchronization or connection in general. Zero crashes, no disconnects and no frame drops, even when I played with my friends in co-op. I personally was shocked to see of how far is the draw distance in this game. Let's say even if you place some drills, forges and move away by countless miles, they will still operate behind the scenes and produce materials. You don't need to stand near them or within a chunk to make them work. Aside of the base game, developers also brought a lot of seasonal content, and I'm not talking about battle passes or crappy loot boxes with microtransactions. I'm talking about in-game events, such as the Halloween, Valentine's Day, Happy Easter, Christmas, and so on. Every single event has some theme and exclusive items that you can obtain during the available time frame. Participating is optional here, but this definitely freshens your experience and tells that the developers really do care about this game. Even if you miss this seasonal content, you are free to override your theme in the gameplay settings at any time. Another new decent addition to the game is mods support. In case you are tired of playing vanilla game or just want to tune some features, then you are free to install some mods created by other players. This works exactly like Steam Workshop, and here in this section you can customize pretty much anything. Show for example enemy health bars, auto fishing, add chat commands, make newly placed portals charged instantly, and so on. The possibilities are endless, and Core Keeper still has a long way to go after its release. We'll definitely see more mods in the future. Thanks to procedurally generated worlds, co-op up to 8 players, constant updates and modding, Core Keeper offers a high level of replayability, and if you are playing with a friend, the game becomes even better. You can work together to mine resources, fight challenging bosses, build a base and share loot. Being in a team will surely give you a sense of accomplishment. This is kind of a game that doesn't require much gaming experience, and you can come back to it after a break and still find something new to enjoy. The game offers several modes for all kinds of players. If you like surviving and exploring, the standard or hardcore mode is the way to go. If you just want to build something beautiful, like in Minecraft or Terraria, choose creative mode. Although it can't obviously compete with Minecraft regarding amount of blocks, it is still possible to build a masterpiece and then share it with the community. And that's probably it, but before I finish with my review, I'd also like to address a few issues. Newcomers who have never played any games in this genre might face some difficulties. Despite the low entry threshold, players may still ask many questions as there are no quests or dialogues and almost no hints or tutorials. The only assistance we got are small tooltips in the inventory. I see that the game really tries to be minimalistic and more intuitive, but sometimes it feels like there is no sense of direction. You can wander around the first biome for a long time and only realize after 5 hours that you need to get the artifacts from the bosses and put them all in the course to finally lower the barrier. The story also seems quite simple or underdeveloped. After going into some cave with other explorers, you touch one suspiciously looking relic and boom, you are now teleported to the underworld. I guess the main goal here is to find the way back, but the lore wise the world isn't explained much. You can find an ancient civilization that apparently used this course, but their knowledge is now lost. What happened to them is a mystery unsolved, but at the very least we can speculate and perhaps even actively search for answers to uncover all these mysteries. It is similar to a game like Elden Ring, where players aren't guided in a straight line and the story isn't laid out directly in front of them. Another issue I found while playing the game is the procedurally generated world itself. Since the map is infinite for the classic worlds, it can be really tough to find unique artifacts, aka legendaries. I had to use third-party tools and editors to find a desired place. Without them it would take ages to explore this large area, but I guess it's no longer the case with the limited size of new worlds. So if you plan to try classic world generation, keep that in mind. Basically these are all the problems I encountered in the game. Core Keeper has quite a lot of interesting and easy to understand mechanics, and the gameplay isn't cluttered with unnecessary details. The progression here is fairly straightforward. The inventory doesn't cause any problems either. I remember back then there was a problem with my item disposal, but now we finally have a hotkey for that. The optimization is also great. My GPU is far beyond modern standards, but it still manages to get 60 FPS on 1080p resolution. I don't know anything about laptops with integrated graphics, but I believe it should work flawlessly if you have AMD CPU. It's been a long journey for Core Keeper to finally reach the release date. Even being in early access for such a long time, this game had a lot of potential. Although the developers haven't put much effort into promotion, I think that in time more and more players will discover this hidden gem. The developers have created a solid foundation, and from now on they only need to continue adding more content like biomes, bosses, achievements, new skills, gameplay mechanics like magic, and so on. I think Core Keeper takes a middle ground between such competitors like Minecraft and Terraria, and that's exactly what I've been looking for. It is easy to master, it has a lot of content, and the visuals are great. The developers sure know what they are doing, so it's definitely in good hands. If any of your friends play Terraria, Minecraft or Stardew Valley, tell them about this game. And no, I'm not paid to say this. Core Keeper is just fun on its own, and you can easily spend a few evenings playing solo or in co-op. Thank you for watching and listening. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or want to share your personal experience about this game. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a nice day and stay safe.